going to be a jump. Now here it looked like a jump. There, this looks like a foul to me.
Yeah.
Indiana, and you can see Caitlin saying you were right in front of her. What made you?
You just never know what's going to happen. It was worse than I thought from looking at it.
But when it is a simple call right in front of your face multiple times, what?
After witnessing Sophie Cunningham get completely destroyed with no repercussions, Caitlin Clark went completely crazy about the referees. The Indiana Fever's thrilling 78-74 victory over the Seattle Storm should, in all honesty, disgrace the whole WNBA. This was no ordinary missed call. This was a prime illustration of all the issues with current professional basketball officiating.
Like, I don't even know what the players can do because the players aren't being protected. And I know so many of the times, like, we're talking about this when it comes to the Indiana Fever, but this does happen across the league. There are many plays that we could pull up. Do you guys have any suggestions on what can actually be done? The coaches get fined when they call them out to the media. Like, this is a top-down issue. This is a commissioner's.
After snagging a defensive rebound, Sophie was practically clutching onto the ball when she was thrown to the ground by a Storm player. Rather than playing basketball, they were playing football. Instead of carrying out his duties, the referee was standing there, watching it happen, as if he were taking in some afternoon entertainment at the neighborhood park.
Am I ever advocating for players to throw other players on the ground? No, like we've seen so much of it throughout the WNBA. He watches this happen right in front of him. There's so much contact on the play and he does nothing. He doesn't blow his whistle. He doesn't stop the play. He doesn't call.
Clark burst out of the sidelines at that point, despite the fact that her persistent groin injury has kept her out of action for the past 7 games.
We have updates and our recovery's going well. You know, it's just, I think for us staying the course and making sure that we're really diligent about each step that we take and that we don't have setbacks and that we're patient with it. I know she wants to be out here on the floor and we want her out here on the floor, but making sure that she's ready is the most important thing. You know, I still don't know how far we are. We're going to take it one step at a time, one day at a time.
After seeing such obvious ineptitude, she was unable to remain silent. "You were directly in front of her," she yelled. "Why did you decide against it?" To be honest, the same question should be asked by every American basketball fan at the official level. The level of incompetence we saw was absolutely astounding. Hit the like button and leave a comment if you want to watch Sophie Cunningham continue to be an utter savage on the court and you're sick of referees destroying basketball. The drama surrounding WNBA officiating is reaching a breaking point that no one can ignore any longer, and this story is going to get wild. This season's biggest issue facing the WNBA was aptly encapsulated in Clark's rant.
The officiating in the WNBA, I kind of already went off on it, but it's just atrocious. Really, really bad. Like, there have got to be rules to present overt physicality from dominating the game. And that's what we've got. We've got it in the NBA, we've got it in the WNBA. Nobody wants to call a bunch of fouls, but these officials don't know what a foul is and a foul isn't. They can't even tell when a ball goes out of bounds. Like, you've got 2 million plus people watching some of these games. You have got to have a correctly officiated product, or at least confidently officiated product, and competently officiated product.
Officially, the referee situation is now a total catastrophe. And now, it's not just Fever supporters who are whining about it. Week after week, players, coaches, and supporters from all throughout the league are criticizing these officials for their utterly appalling decisions. Consider how absurd this situation has become. Sophie Cunningham received a $500 punishment for merely making fun of referees on TikTok. However, there is no punishment for actual attack on the basketball court. That provides you with all the information you require regarding the WNBA's current priorities. The league has responded in an equally dismal manner. Commissioner Kathy Angel-Burt boldly asserted that while losing teams constantly complain about the officiating, winning teams never do. When the biggest star in your league is being beaten up in every game while the referees act as though they don't see anything, that is possibly the most tone-deaf reaction you can make. Respected coaches like Becky Hammond are publicly going crazy due to the officiating's decline. Additionally, seasoned athletes like Kelsey Plum are attending press conferences covered in scratches, questioning why they only made 6 free throws while being pummeled the entire game.
I got scratches on my face, I got scratches on my body, and these guards on the other team get these ticky-tack fouls, and I'm sick of it. I get fouled like that every possession. Ricky gets fouled like that in the post all the time, and they don't call it, and I don't know what else to do. Like, it's really frustrating, though. I'm like, I feel, I mean, there's multiple shots at the end of the game, either into the third, into the fourth, where they're just coming and swinging, and they just...
One bright spot has emerged amidst the tumult, despite everyone's attention being on the referee debacle. As Caitlin Clark heals from her injury, Sophie Cunningham has emerged as the Fever's most dependable clutch player with yet another outstanding performance.
That's a PNW win! W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Oh my gosh. That one just aged me, but we're getting better. Shoot, good win. Win's a win. A dub is a dub, so keep on rolling.
The woman finished with 17 points after making 5 of 6 shots from the field and 4 of 5 three-pointers. This is the wild section that demonstrates just how much the squad depends on her at the moment. Throughout the entire game, she was the only player from the Indiana Fever to make a three-pointer. Sophie finds that impressive, but everyone else on the roster finds it utterly horrifying.
I'm really proud of you guys. There were so many ways in a close game and in game situation where we grew today that were huge for us, y'all. That will pay dividends. So great job. I'm proud of you guys. Everybody contributed. Everybody came in and gave us a lift. Kels, I know it was a tough shooting day, but the way you facilitated and that one big jumper that you made. We dug in and got stops when we needed to. I mean, big time win, y'all. Big.
Additionally, Sophie Cunningham saved the day for us. Additionally, Sophie's remarkable streak of success isn't happening by chance. Fans have begun referring to her as the Blonde Bomber because she often makes big shots when the team needs them most, and she has been on a complete tear lately. Following the battle that went viral in which she stood up for Clark and became an overnight star, her confidence is currently through the roof. Following that Connecticut Sun brawl, the woman had an explosion in jersey sales and an increase in her social media following of over 800,000. She is suddenly playing as though she is aware that everyone in the basketball world is observing her every move. She's delivering in the most amazing way imaginable, to be honest.
Big games from Sophie Cunningham, the only player on the Indiana Fever to make her three tonight. The Indiana Fever were 4 of 21 from downtown, and Sophie Cunningham hit all 4 of those threes. 17 points. And the difference between this and the Lynx game, which was Sophie Cunningham's last really good breakout game, this wasn't late. This was, we're struggling offensively. Somebody needs to come through, and Sophie Cunningham came through.
One of the season's most captivating plotlines has been Sophie's journey from role player to actual celebrity. She is the team's most reliable offensive threat and is embracing the enforcer position. Although it's not something you see very frequently in professional basketball, her bravery was insufficient to stop what nearly turned into another classic Fever breakdown. Speaking of spectacular catastrophes, the Indiana Fever nearly blew a 13-point third-quarter lead in the traditional manner. Evidently, their coaching staff breaks out in hives or something when they have comfortable leads. Longtime Fever fans were all too familiar with the trend.
Sophie the Blonde Bomber, Sophie the Trophy, lit it up again tonight. Man, she has been nothing short of spectacular as of late. 5 of 6 from the floor, 4 of 5 from 3, 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 17 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. Sophie, the Blonde Bomber, has been on fire. Sophie stepped it up in a big time way. That is what you need. When your best player is out, you need the ancillary pieces to step up and deliver. And that is what Sophie Cunningham has been.
One of the season's most captivating plotlines has been Sophie's journey from role player to actual celebrity. She is the team's most reliable offensive threat and is embracing the enforcer position. Although it's not something you see very frequently in professional basketball, her bravery was insufficient to stop what nearly turned into another classic Fever breakdown. Speaking of spectacular catastrophes, the Indiana Fever nearly blew a 13-point third-quarter lead in the traditional manner. Evidently, their coaching staff breaks out in hives or something when they have comfortable leads. Longtime Fever fans were all too familiar with the trend.
The Fever did everything possible to blow a game, but still come out with the win. That was a near epic level collapse, folks. Wow, it should have never gotten that close. Lexi Hull, Stephanie White waited till the very, very last minute to put Hull in on defense. She should have been in there from 2 minutes in, 2.5 minutes in on defense. They could not seem to get a big rebound to save their life, and this almost turned into a disaster.
The Indiana Fever just almost pushed me to a heart attack. The Indiana Fever nearly blow a 12-point fourth quarter lead. We allow the Seattle Storm to go on an 11-0 run in the fourth quarter. Stephanie White, I keep telling y'all, I don't trust her. I'm sorry. We give up a 11-0 run within the last 4 minutes to let this team cut the lead down to...
Thanks to Sophie's scorching shooting and strong play from their supporting group, the squad led 55-42 halfway through the third quarter. When Caitlin Clark isn't on the court, they then proceeded as usual. They began to play as if they had never seen a basketball game before. To end the third quarter, Seattle embarked on a 10-2 run, reducing the lead to 4 points going into the final 12 minutes. What ought to have been a straightforward road went abruptly became yet another stressful nightmare for Fever supporters worldwide. It was a heart attack waiting to happen when the fourth quarter meltdown nearly occurred again. With just over 3 minutes remaining, the Storm was able to reduce the margin to 73-72. Since we've seen this movie before, and it typically doesn't end well, you could almost hear every Fever fan reaching for their blood pressure medication at that time. The squad has the annoying tendency to take a significant lead and then, when it counts most, forget how to play basketball.
Boy, they almost blew it. Nonsensical whistles to stop runs, or how about blowing a whistle to stop the other team's run? Coming out in the second half, I will never back off of this. When you come out in the second half and you start losing leads, that is a coaching issue. I don't care what sport you're in. All right? Because what that tells you is the opposing coach went into the second in the halftime, made adjustments. The other team comes out, and they start figuring it out. Well, it's up to your coach. It's up to your coach to make adjustments against that.
They seem to be experiencing a psychological block when it comes to appropriately ending games. Anyone watching could see the main cause for this almost catastrophe. Kelsey Mitchell's decision to have one of her worst shooting performances in her career was the main reason the Fever nearly broke out. To be honest, everyone involved, including Mitchell herself, most likely, had a difficult time seeing her perform. The woman shot 0 of 8 from three-point range and 3 of 16 from the field. This implies that she spent the most of the evening essentially performing for the Seattle Storm. Based on the lunar calendar or something, you can practically anticipate when she will go cold because her shooting issues have become such a recurring issue.